Hare Krishna, everyone. Today's the disappearance day of Sri Gadhadar Pandit and the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur. So we're going to start off with the singing of Jalo Nilo Premadana. Jaya Nilo Premadana Karuna Prachur Hene Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kahasanatan Kahadasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kahamora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Nataraj Ashane Kutibo Mata Anale Pashibo Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pabo Se Sabba Sangira Sange Ye Koilo Bilas Se Sangha Napaya Kande Naro Tamadas Yeya Nilo Prema Dana Karuna Prachur Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Srinivasacharya Thakur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Just going to read the translation. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who is filled with compassion and mercy, where is such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatana? Where is Raghunath Dasa, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps. So today is a special day, Amavasya, and there's the disappearance of Sri Gadhadar Pandit and the disappearance of Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur, and it's also Gundicha Marjana, which is the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. So before I start, and I'll offer my obeisances. Om Jnana Timurandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vashakan Pitam Cha Hey Krishna Korana Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Charubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'm going to start by reading a little bit about Gadhadar Pandit. Gadhadar Pandit we can see in the picture of the Panchatattva. He's the second one from the middle on the right, I guess, if you will. I don't know if that's completely correct, but anyways, it's a very important personality, as well as Bhaktivinodha Thakur, and all of these personalities are all of them could have their own class, have books written about them, and I'm very unqualified to glorify or speak anything about these personalities. But if you will say a prayer for me that I can say something in glorification, it would be greatly appreciated. So I'm just going to start with a little bit about Gadhadar Pandit. Gadhadar Pandit had been associated with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu since he was young. He is a contemporary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and basically like a childhood friend, and was his friend throughout life. The dark moon day of the month of Vaishakha is Sri Gadhadar Pandit Goswami's appearance day. Sri Gadhadar Pandit was named after his father, Sri Madhava Mishra, and his mother, Sri Ratnavati Devi, who lived near Jagannath Mishra's residence in Mayapur. Sri Ratnavati Devi regarded Sachi Devi with the affection of a big sister. They were constantly spending time with each other. Gaurahari spent a lot of time with Gadhadar Pandit when he was younger. Gadhadar Pandit was Gaurahari's younger brother by a year. They both studied at the village school together. Gadhadar adored Gaurahari so much that he couldn't bear to be separated, even for a second. According to the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ishwar Puri visited Navadvip Mayapur. He resided at Sri Gopinath Acharya's residence for a few months. Gadhadar Pandit was a thoughtful and collected young man from the start. He was quiet, renounced, and enjoyed his alone time. Ishwar Puri was quite fond of Gadhadar then, and tutored him from his book Krishna Lilamrita. Gaura Sundar, on the other hand, appeared to be fickle, unsteady, and whimsical as a child. When they were in school, he would annoy Gadhadar by asking witty questions to perplex Gadhadar. This bothered Gadadhar's intellect and studies, thus he didn't enjoy it. As an outcome, he had no option but to keep Gaurahari at arm's length, but he couldn't stand being apart from the Lord any longer. Gadhadar Pandit was caught in a difficult situation. Gadhadar, the Lord exclaimed, I will soon become such a great Vaishnava that even Brahma and Shiva will bow to me. Sri Gadhadar Pandit greatly loved Mukunda Datta. Mukunda Datta would inform Gadhadar whenever sadhus or sannyasis arrived in Navadvip from somewhere else, and they would visit the holy man together. Pundarik Vidyanidhi arrived in Navadvip from Chattagram at one point. Mukunda invited Gadhadar to come with him to take his darshans. Gadadhar was extremely exhilarated to meet such an exalted Vaishnav, and thus the two of them excitedly set out together to take most of the sadhu sangha with the renowned Pundarik Vidyanidhi. When Gadadhar noticed that Pundarik Vidyanidhi was dressed and behaved like a wealthy materialist, he felt disappointed, and the high regard within him fell even before speaking to him. Gadadhar pondered within himself, how can a Vaishnav act and look as if he was so obsessed with sense enjoyment? However, Mukunda knew Pundarik Vidyanidhi's real nature and could also understand the doubts arising in Gadadhar Pandit's mind. To surface the truth, he began singing some shlokas from the Srimad Bhagavatam in a very sweet voice. When Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard the marvelous recitation of these shlokas, in a round of ecstasy, he began to shed tears of love, while pitifully calling out to his Lord, Krishna, Krishna, and finally fainted dead away on the floor. And that's from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Gadadhar immediately regretted thinking otherwise. He lamented, what a grave offense that I have committed by considering such a holy soul to be like an ordinary materialist due to my ignorance. To save myself from the effect of this offense, I think the only way is to accept his initiation. Gadadhar Pandit presented his proposition to Mukunda, who proposed it to Pundarik Vidyanidhi with full details of the Pandit's high qualifications. Providence has given me a great jewel. I will accept him. You shouldn't doubt that. It is the result of several lifetimes of good fortune that one gets a disciple like this. Kavi Kanapur explains in the Gaur Ganodesh Deepika that Sri Gadadhar Pandit was the daughter of Rishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, and Rajalila. This is proven in Swarup Damodar's notes and Sri Vasudev Ghosh Thakur's songs. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, no one can define Gadadhar Pandit's traits or intense love. As a result, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also known as Gadadhar Pranata, or the life and soul of Gadadhar Pandit. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita further explains, no one can define Gadadhar Pandit's traits or intense love. No one can express the Lord's kindness to Gadadhar Pandit but Gadadhar. Gora, the Lord Gauranga of Gadadhar. Gora is the Lord Gauranga of Gadadhar Pandit, is how the Lord is known. Their glories are sung by everyone as Gadai Gauranga. This is just kind of skipping through different things. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to manifest Krishna Prema upon returning from Gayadam. There he had performed the pastime of accepting Sri Ishwar Puri as a spiritual master. Day and night he floated in the ocean of love of Krishna. Gadadhar, upon seeing the Lord of his life drown in tears of love for Krishna, also began to cry in ecstatic love. From this time, Gadadhar Pandit stayed on Mahaprabhu's side. Mahaprabhu exclaimed, Gadadhar, you are pious and virtuous. Since your childhood you have been devoted to Krishna. My life has been wasted. Due to my evil activities I cannot attain the collaboration of the Lord of my life. Saying this, Gaur Hari embraced Gadadhar lovingly to his chest. One day, Sri Gadadhar offered some pan to Sri Gauranga, who, in burst of emotion, questioned him, Gadadhar, where is that beautiful blackish boy who is dressed in yellow garments? After asking this, he began to shed a stream of tears. Gadadhar held in his hands, and to appease the Lord's burning heart, said, He is in your heart. Upon hearing this, Gaur Hari began to tear his chest with his nails, but Gadadhar quickly took hold of his hands. Mahaprabhu begged him, Gadadhar, leave my hands, I cannot stand to remain, even a moment, of not seeing Krishna any more. Gadadhar assured him, be patient and take hold of yourself. Krishna will come in any minute now. After hearing this, Mahaprabhu became somewhat calm. Sachimata saw this unfold from a distance and then rushed there. Being extremely pleased with Gadadhar, she announced, He is just a boy, but he is very intelligent. I am scared to go before my son, when he is in these moods, but Gadadhar has very cleverly pacified him. Sachimata told Gadadhar, Gadadhar, you must please remain with Nimai always. If you stay with him, I won't have to worry. In Navadvip, Gadadhar was the chief companion of Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar was the Lord's principal companion when he performed his Navadvip Leela. In these pastimes in Navadvip, on the banks of the Ganges, Radhakrishna in Vrindavan adopts the Lord's pastimes in Navadvip by performing kirtan. One day the Lord was traveling along the Ganges banks when he came across a tiny wooded grove and sat down. Gradually he grew immersed in reminiscing about his time in Vrindavan. Mukundadatta began gently performing Purva Raga tunes. After picking flowers in the jungle, Gadadhar decked the Lord's neck with a garland, just like Sri Radha used to decorate Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. Gadadhar decked Lord Gauranga's pure form similarly. Someone sang a lovely tune and someone danced gracefully. Gauranga finally sat Gadadhar on a raised platform made from the root of a tree. Two of them had their arti conducted by Sri Advaita Acharya. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was sitting on their left, and Srivas Pandit arranged flowers in a vase. The chamara was being waved by Narhari. Shukalambara was making a chandana offering. Murari Gupta was praising the Lord and singing sweet praises to him. Madhava, Vasudev, Purushottama, Vijay, and Mukunda, among others, sang many raga-based songs. The Lord completed his Nadia Leela this way. He completed his Sannyas Leela and left his mother and country to reside in Jagannath Puri. Gadadhar Pandit followed him at that time and settled in Jagannath Puri. Sri Gadadhar Pandit would regularly recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Gaur Sundar, along with his associates, would listen in Jagannath Puri. After performing his pastimes on this planet for 48 years, Sri Gaurachandra wrapped up his manifest pastimes by entering into the deity of Sri Tota Gopinathji, who Sri Gadadhar Pandit served at Jagannath Puri. After the disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar was afflicted with severe pangs of separation and quickly aged. At the age of 47, he was now old and could not serve Tota Gopinath, the deity given to him by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gopinath knelt to accept the flower garlands of his most beloved devotee to reciprocate his loving service. At the age of 47, unable to bear separation from the Lord of his life, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, any longer, he wrapped up his pastimes by entering the deity of Srimati Radharani on the side of Toti Gopinath. In this manner, Gadadhar Pandit helped Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to experience and taste the loving sentiments that Srimati Radharani felt for Lord Krishna, which is one of the main reasons for this incarnation of Lord Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit ki, there's so much about Gadadhar Pandit. Just like looking at the life of Bhaktivinodha Thakur, it's overwhelming. And one thing about Gadadhar Pandit, I've gone to see the deity of Tota Gopinath, I think maybe twice. Both times I've been to India. And he's, well, as far as I know, well, who knows? He's the only sitting deity of Lord Krishna. Very powerful deity, large deity as well. And you can see, you can go there and see this deity and see where these pastimes take place. Really, the importance that I'm getting from Gadadhar Pandit's appearance, there's so many important things, but he made Lord Gauranga his life and soul. Lord Gauranga was his everything. And by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we're kind of given that chance to make Lord Gauranga our life and soul, to make his mission our life and soul, to make the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, our life and soul, which Lord Gauranga came to distribute widely, everywhere, to everyone, regardless of body, age, mind, etc. With that, I kind of wanted maybe I'll just, so it's also the disappearance day of Bhaktivinodha Thakur. Bhaktivinodha Thakur is one of our acharyas. He's on the altar. We worship him, on the altar with Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is one of his sons. I'm going to read a small biography of Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur. And like I said, just trying to study for a class and trying to get a grasp on the life of Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur, it's almost impossible. I mean, people have written books about him, and just the amount of accomplishments that he accomplished, the amount of books that he wrote, the amount of songs, the influence on the Vaishnava community, the influence on the world, and also the fact that he was a householder in the material world. He had a huge family, he had a government job, so obviously he was constantly busy with all of these material things, yet somehow Krishna expanded his time and he was able to write all these books and do all these things and start all these projects and inspire all these people. Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur, then known as Kedarnatha Datta, was born in 1838 in Birangara, Bengal. The youngest of 7 sons, his father Raja Krishnananda Datta was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda. The family lived in fairly wealthy circumstances until Kedarnatha's father passed away in 1849, when they were reduced to poverty. In 1850, Kedarnatha's mother arranged a marriage with a 5-year-old daughter of Madhusudana Mitra Mahasaya, a resident of Ranagata. Kedarnath was taught by his uncle Kashi Prasad Ghosh Mahasya Thakur at his home in Calcutta. Kasi Prasad, having studied under the British education system, was a central figure in many literary circles and the editor of the Hindu Intelligencer. Kedarnath studied his uncle's books and helped him in submitting articles to the newspaper. He became an expert in English as a reader, speaker, and writer. When he was 18, he went to college in Calcutta, where he wrote extensively in both English and Bengali. These essays were published locally. He also lectured frequently in both languages. His best friend through these years was Sriman Dwijendranath Thakur, the eldest son of Maharshi Devendranath Thakur. Having seen the corruption in the business world, Kedarnath decided to become a teacher. He established an English school in Kendrapara, a village near Chuttagram in Orissa, thus pioneering English education in the state. Sometime later, he went to Puri and passed a teacher's examination. He got a teacher's post in a Kathak school and later became headmaster of a school in Bhadrak and then in Madinapur. His dedicated work was noted by the school board authorities. As headmaster, Bhaktivinodha studied the various religions and came to the realization that the only real religion established in Bengal, albeit poorly, was that of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Bhadrak, his first son, Anada Prasad Achyutananda, was born in 1860. After his wife died, he married Bhagavati Dey in the town of Jakapur. In 1861, Bhaktivinodha took up a government post as deputy magistrate in Bengal. In the years to come, he took up several government posts, chiefly as deputy magistrate in various parts of Bengal. He read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita repeatedly, his faith in Krishna consciousness increasing until he was totally absorbed in the pure bhakti shastras day and night. Between the years 1874 and 1893, Bhaktivinodha Thakur spent much time in seclusion, chanting the holy name, though he still executed his worldly duties. He wrote several books in Sanskrit, such as Sri Krishna Samhita, Tattva Sutram, and Tattva Vivek, and Datta Kaushubha. He also wrote many books in Bengali, such as Kalyana Kalpataru. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was an outstanding scholar, and through the course of his life he was to write hundreds of books, a career he started at the age of 12. He spoke Bengali, Sanskrit, English, Latin, Urdu, Persian, and Oriya. He managed to obtain and write a Sanskrit commentary on the Chaitanya Upanishad. His other literary works include Sri Chaitanya Shikshashamrita, and also the Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala, Prema Pradeep, and Manashiksha. Whilst in Puri, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur became manager of the Jagannath temple. He established regular worship of the deity. In the temple courtyard, he established a bhakti mandap where daily discourses of Srimad Bhagavatam were held. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would spend long hours discussing Krishna and chanting the holy name, especially at Tota Gopinath Mandir, the tomb of Haridas Thakur, the Siddhabakul, and the Gambhira. As a householder, Bhaktivinoda had 2 wives and 10 children, of which the great Vaishnav scholar Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was one. Bimala Prasad, Bhaktivinoda's 4th son, was born in Sri Purushotama Kshetra, Jagannath Puri, on February 6, 1874, answering the prayer of Bhaktivinoda for the Lord to send a ray of Vishnu to preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. He was given the name Bimala Prasad. As a devotee, Bhaktivinoda showed great humility. He had strict moral standards and would not accept gifts from anyone. Even in his government duties, he refused all honors and titles. When his 7th son was born, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur took Pancharat Diksha initiation from Bipin Bihari Goswami, descended from the Janava family of Bhagnapara. In 1881, Bhaktivinoda Thakur began publishing Sajanatosani, his Vaishnava journal. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had previously made pilgrimage to Kasi, Prayag, Mathur, and Vrindavan in 1866. At the close of his stay in Narayana, he desired to again see the land of Raj, where he met Sri Jagannath Das Babaji and accepted him as his eternally worshipable Shiksha Guru. From Vrindavan, he went to Calcutta and bought a house. He started daily worship of Sri Giridhari, the transcendental form of Krishna, who appeared in the form of Govardhan Hill, and called the house Bhakti Bhavan. In 1881, while excavating for the construction of the Bhakti Bhavan at Rambagan in Calcutta, a deity of Kurmadev was unearthed. Bhaktivinoda entrusted his son Vimala with the service of the deity of Kurmadev. In Calcutta, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur started the Sri Vishwa Vaishnava Sabha, dedicated to the preaching of the pure bhakti as taught by Lord Chaitanya. To publicize the work of the society, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur published a small booklet entitled Vishwa Vaishnava Kalpavi. Also, he published his own edition of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita with his Amrita Prabhava Bhashya commentary, and he introduced the Chaitanyabda or Chaitanya era calendar and gave assistance to the propagation of the Chaitanya Panjika, which established the feast day of Gaur Purnima. He lectured and gave readings on books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in various Vaishnava societies. He published in the Hindu Herald, an English periodical, a detailed account of Sri Chaitanya's life. It was at this time that the learned Vaishnavas recognized Kedarnath Datta and gave him the honorary title of Bhaktivinodha Thakur. Bhaktivinoda traveled and preached widely. In 1891, he took leave from government service for 2 years just for this purpose. He would lecture in clubs, societies, and organizations. During this time, he continued writing and opened many branches of Namahata in different districts of Bengal. The Namahata became a self-sustaining success which continued to spread even after his return to government service. Once while stationed in Krishnanga, Bhaktivinodha Thakur, along with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, found Lord Chaitanya's birthplace in the year 1887. When the birthplace was uncovered, Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur and Srila Jagannath Das Babaji would worship Lord Chaitanya there. In 1908, Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur took the external dress of a Babaji at Satasana Puri. He accepted Paramahamsa sannyas. And until 1910, he traveled between Calcutta and Puri, still writing books, but during that year he shut himself up and entered Samadhi, claiming paralysis. On June 23, 1914, at Jagannath Puri, Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur Prabhupada passed away. Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur Ki. That's a short biography, but it's just, even that doesn't list half the things that Srila Bhaktivinodha Thakur did. And I'm sorry if I kind of butchered the names. My tongue gets tied, so I apologize. But anyways, just looking at the life of Bhaktivinodha Thakur, one can only feel awe and astonished. Like, oh my God, how does one person do so much? And it may be that he's especially empowered by Lord Chaitanya to do this. But part of Bhaktivinodha Thakur's mission was to spread Lord Chaitanya's mission. And his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, took up that mission and as well, and was spreading Lord Chaitanya's mission. And Srila Prabhupada heard that and took that message and took that mission and made it his life and soul. And Krishna empowered him to come to the West and give that message to us. It's like this, each of these individuals is, it's like a parampara of power, practically. They're making the mission of Lord Chaitanya their life and soul, and Krishna is empowering them to do all these things, expanding time for them, letting them, are giving them the ability to do all these things. And we can get inspiration from the lives of these devotees, from reading these pastimes. At first glance, the life of Bhaktivinodha Thakur is overwhelming, and it's almost like, I can't believe it. But the point is to make Radha and Krishna your life and soul, to make Sri Krishna Chaitanya your life and soul, to make your Guru Maharaj your life and soul. And by doing that, then then everything starts to expand. Time can expand in some ways. Opportunities start to open up. But if you become overwhelmed and full of anxiety, you might get shut down. But that's why we have this Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, to help us purify, to help purify our heart. And, on these disappearance days, we can take advantage of reading about these pastimes and learning and imbibing the mood from these personalities to keep going, to keep enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, to keep enthusiastic in Lord Chaitanya's service, because it's a rough world out there. But this will give you the juice, this will give you the energy to keep going, so you don't give up, so you don't get run over by this steamroller of Maya, the freight train of Maya, because that's always going to go. It's always going to look for a way to, mow you down, to run you over. But by the grace of these great personalities, they've given us this chance to reawaken our real purpose, to chant Hare Krishna, and to help others do that too. And also today, there's no time to mention, it's also another class or several classes. The cleansing of the Gundicha. Man, I'm bad with these words. Gundicha temple. And that's a whole pastime where the Lord and his devotees are cleansing this temple. And the Lord is cleansing the temple even with his tears. But the same point is there, to make the Lord your life and soul, to make this mission your life and soul, to cleanse your heart. It may be ugly, it may be rough, it may be dirty, it may be disgusting, but you have the tools. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sorry for any offenses. Thank you for your attention. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Bhaktivinodha Thakur. All glories to Gadhadar Pandit.
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Dandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Asyan Vipan Vikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham
Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Vangshivadana, sorry, Vangshivadana Suvasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Vangshivadana Suvasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vangshivadana Suvasa Braja Janapalana Surakula Nashana Braja Janapalana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godhana Raka Oyala Nanda Godhana Raka Oyala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Jamuna Tatta Chara Gopi Vashanara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Shri Radhava Labha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radhava Labha Vrindavana Natabara Bhaktivinodha Shaya Bhaktivinodha Shaya Yashomati Nandana Braja Baranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Braja Baranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana of Braja, destroyer of the demonic dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy. Of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful lover and Shri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan.
Jai, Gadhadar Pandita ki Jai, Sri Gandicha Marga cleansing ki Jai. And also a reminder, Friday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, we'll be in Hillsborough at the corner of Margaret and Churton for the last Friday celebration here in Hillsborough. And it's going to be a nice Harinam, and there's lots of people there. It's going to be hot, but not as hot as these days. So please come, 5:30 to 7:30 in Hillsborough this Friday for a big kirtan, Harinam. Chaitodarpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairavya chandrika vitaranam vijavadu jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Purnamrita Swaranam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva midrishami hajjani nanuraga Trinadapi sunichena Tarorapi suhishuna Amanina manadena Kirtaniya sadahari Nadanam najanam nasundarim Kavitam vajagadisha kamaye Mama janmani janmani ishvare Bhavatad bhaktir hoitaki twai Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishamebhavam budau kripayata vabada pankaja stita duli sajashim vachintaya nainam galadashu daraya varanam gadgarudaya gira pulakarnishitam vapukada tavanamagrahane bhavishyati yugayatam namishena chakshusha bravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahena Me Ashlishyavapadamritam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatatava Vidadatu Lampato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. So sweet. Oh, they're really beautiful. And this is the higher of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking ourselves lower in the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even